we started with the new series that is we are going to do with with the current affairs, daily based current affairs, those news which are very much important for your exam point of view, right? So today is 11th of November, right? So what we will do, we'll cover up the news which is one day prior, right? So we are covering the news on of 11th and November 2021. So topics which are going to be covered in this particular session is Srinagar in UNESCO Creative Cities Network, annual Leonidas meteor shower begins, global resilience index initiative launched, frothing in Yamuna River, and submarine INS Vela that is inducted in Indian Navy. So these are the 5 topics that we are going to cover up in today's session. So first of all is Srinagar in UNESCO Creative Cities Network. So Srinagar has been designated to creativity city in the field of, sorry. So Srinagar city has been designated the creativity city in the field of craft and folk arts. Only second city in the India in this category after Jaipur. So the benefits that will be given to Srinagar after this is the international funding, ties up with the craft universities, and pitching craft as a product, right? So it will be very much helpful for the people who are indulged in the art and craft field of the particular city. So it was under the nodal ministry of Union Ministry of Culture, and who is the Minister of Culture is a G. Krishna Reddy. G. Krishna Reddy is the Union Culture Minister of Culture. So basically, UNESCO, the full form of UNESCO is United Nation Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So this is the full form of UNESCO. It's a specialized agency of UN, and its headquarters in Paris, France. So Srinagar in UNESCO Creative Cities Network. So UNESCO Creative City Network was created in 2004. It's a sustainable development goal 11 aims for sustainable cities and communities. So basically, how many sustainable development goals are there? There are 17 sustainable development goals. And the sustainable development goals was started in 2015. And these goals, the target of these goals are of 15 years, that is by 2030. So it's a targeted approach. So it covers 7 creative fields: crafts and folk arts, media arts, film, design, gastronomy, literature, and music. So Indian cities on UCCN, first of all is Srinagar, that is in 2021, crafts and folk arts. And obviously Jaipur was also there in 2015. Except this, Mumbai film in the field of film in 2019, it was selected. Hyderabad in the field of gastronomy in 2019. Chennai creativity city of music 2017, and Varanasi creativity city of music. Next one is annual Leonidas meteor shower begins. So it is to be active between 6th and 20th of November, with peak activity expected on 17th of November. So basically, the 3 things: one is meteor, next one is meteoroid, TE, next one is meteoroid. So what are the difference between among these 3? Meteor is space rock, the rocks which pass through the pass from the earth outside the earth. It doesn't enter into the atmosphere of earth, so it just passed from the space. What is meteorite? When any that rock debris when enters into the earth's atmosphere, so it got burnt up, right, because of the frictional force in our upper atmosphere. So it got burnt up. So the star, the falling star which we used to say, so it is basically nothing but a meteorite. When that rock debris just fall on the earth surface, right, when it just falls on the earth surface, it is called as meteorite, right? So most are the pieces of other larger bodies that have been broken or blasted. Of these come from comets, asteroids, planets, and moon. So when earth encounters many meteorites at once, it is called as meteor shower. So meteor shower are named for the constellation where the meteors appear to be coming from. So what is Leonidas shower? Basically, the debris that formed this meteor shower originated from the small comet called 55P or Temple Turtle in the constellation Leo, which takes 33 years to orbit the sun. So the Leonidas are considered to be the major shower that features the fastest meteors, which typically travel at the speed of 71 km per second. Although the rates are often as low as 15 meteors per hour. So it is very much visible. So Leonidas are also called as fireballs and earth grazer meteors. So fireballs because of their bright color as when they enter into the earth atmosphere, and because of the lightning effect. So it appears to be very much appears to be a fireball. So Leonidas shower turns into a meteor storm every 33 years. When it happens, hundred to thousands of meteors can be seen every hour. So last meteor storm took place in 2002. So meteor storm should have at least 1,000 meteors per hour. Next one is Global Resilience Index Initiative launched. So it was launched by Global Coalition of 10 organizations as COP26. Recently, COP26, that is the Conference of Parties. Conference of Parties, which is going on in Glasgow, Scotland. So it will be world's first curated open source reference index to build a universal model for addressing resilience to climate risks. It will provide reference data on climate and natural hazard risk to inform and protect populations and economies. So what are the needs? So since 1970, over 2 million people, that is 20 lakh people, died because of only the climate change, and 9 out of every 10 are from the developing countries. So almost every country has felt harsh impact of climate change. The very prime example is, if you see that initially which were the drought prone areas, now they are flood prone areas. Now which are the flood prone areas, now they are drought prone areas. Very disease, very harmful diseases like COVID, like dengue, like chikungunya. These all diseases are the result of this climate change, because earth are getting more warm, and it gives it acts as a catalyst effect on these viruses and bacteria. So that's why it also leads to very harmful diseases, most importantly in the tropical countries, the countries which are in between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So what are the significance? The outcomes of this risk analysis will help close the insurance protection gap and direct investment and aid to where they are needed the most. Obviously, the organizations, the world organization and the world countries should think now where and why and where and at what time the money should be invested. So it is also very, the timing and the place is very much important. So it will help global economic sector understand in concrete terms the value of building climate resilience and the cost of doing nothing. So it will enable asset owners to compare portfolios risk across geographies and hazards, as well as helping countries to prioritize national adaptation investment. So basically, it will give target to the countries that how much you need to invest in the climate sector, in the environment sector, right? For example, how much they need to invest in the renewable source of energies and all. So the target-based approach is very much important. Next one is frothing in Yamuna. You must have seen in news nowadays or in newspaper nowadays, like there's a form like structure which got on the upper surface of the Yamuna River. So basically, why this happened? This happened because when the untreated waste of sewage or industrial waste enter into the river, so this kind of a things basically happen. So it is not only happens in Yamuna, it happens to other rivers as well. So froth is a mass small bubble in a liquid caused by agitation, fermentation, and salivating. So these are basically the terms the terms are related to when any external untreated waste, mostly sewage waste and industrial waste, will enter into the fresh water. So it leads to frothing. So it is basically nothing but a sign of it's a very polluting river, polluted river. So the release of untreated or poorly treated effluents could lead to frothing. So basically, sewage network, industrial waste also leads to toxic frothing. So frothing in Yamuna River. So what are the steps taken by the government? So Delhi Pollution Control Board, DPCC, banned the sale, storage, and transportation of soaps detergent not conforming in the quality standards such set by the Bureau of Indian Standards. So the fifth report of National Green Tribunal (NGT) appointed Yamuna Monitoring Committee notes that through BIS standards for detergents have been improved. It is not clear whether these standards will actually be enforced. The role of regulatory bodies like Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, DPCC, and Pollution Control Board, PCBs, are generally limited to implementing the discharge effluent standards. So for that, what is basically government need to do? The government need to see whether the detergents and soaps or the industrial waste which are getting into the river, the soaps and detergent, are they on the standard, the Bureau of according to the Bureau of Indian Standards? So they, first of all, we need to check, the government need to check. Secondly, the industrial waste. So there are other ways as well which leads to treat the industrial waste. So rather than dumping that industrial waste into rivers, so there are other ways as well. So government also need to check that. Next one is submarine INS Vela inducted in Indian Navy. So the fourth submarine INS Vela of Project P75 have been delivered to the Indian submarine. So it's a basically diesel powered engine, diesel electric propulsion system. It's that type of engine, and it's one of the most sophisticated submarines and capable of doing a very long-term operations and multi-forest missions as well. So it's a basically Scorpion class submarine. You know what is a Scorpion class submarine? Scorpion class submarine is basically the submarine which was initiated by the France. Right, this is basically a French model submarine. Scorpion is basically a French model, and basically we adopted the technology of that class of a submarine, and we are building this. We are building those submarines. Basically, there are what the Ministry of Defense recommended, total number of 6 submarines. Right. So it's a conventional submarine in almost 2 decades in INS Sindhu Shastra, procured from Russia in July 2000. So what is Project 75? It is a program by the Indian Navy that entails building 6 Scorpion class attack submarines. It's basically attack submarine. So design of Kalvari class of submarine is based on French Scorpion class submarine, as I already told you. In India, it is called as Kalvari class, but we took this technology from French industry, French defense industry, and French government. As supported by Department of Defense Production. It is under the Ministry of Defense, and who is the Minister of Defense? Mr. Rajnath Singh is the Minister of Defense and Indian Navy. So Mazagaon Dockyard (MDL) is manufacturing 6 Scorpion submarine with technology assistance from Naval Group of France. So what are the other submarines under the Project 75? So the 2 submarine Kalvari class and Khanderi have been commissioned already into the Indian Navy. The Scorpion Vagir is under the trial, and 6th one INS Bagshir is under the construction. Right. So these are the status. This is the status of Project 75 under the Indian Navy. So these were the most important 5 news of 11th of September. So in the same way, we'll do these sessions on a daily basis on a YouTube live. So we're going to catch up tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you. I'm signing off now.